Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Healthy Living right here on Times. You're with me, Tabby Kamangala. This is a program where we talk about all things non-communicable diseases. And remember, this program is sponsored by MASM.
You have all your MASM information in one place. With the MASM mobile app, all MASM members register on the MASM mobile app. Download the app from Apple Store or Google Play Store. Install and open. Click register to register. Enter your membership number. The default membership number has 9 digits. If you don't succeed, try 11 digits. Choose your name, password, and OTP destination. Remember, when adding your mobile number, 265, not plus 265. You can also register with your email address easily and keep updated with your MASM account right in the palm of your hand. For more information, email info.desk@masm.mw or visit www.masm.mw.
Now today joining me is Arthur Bunyani, a clinical nutritionist and dietitian. We're going to be talking about arthritis, its causes, the signs and symptoms, but especially what should one eat when they have arthritis. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. So we're just going to get right into it. What is arthritis?
Yes, arthritis is one of the non-communicable diseases. It's a condition. Probably I've heard people complaining, my joints are paining, sometimes my back is paining. So usually it's the pain in the joints. Usually people have pains in the joints. So it's a disease usually which affects the bones. Mainly the joints. What actually happens is there is the inflammation and there is swelling in between the joints, which causes pain. Sometimes they will fail to move the joints.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you'd see some redness around the joints and decreased range of movement. So that's what we call arthritis as per definition.
So from your explanation, it's mostly to do with joints.
Yes.
What are some of the causes of arthritis?
Yeah, there are several causes of arthritis. In fact, people talk of overuse, of joints. Sometimes it could be due to some infections.
Let's just sorry to cut you, but what do you mean when you say overuse of joints?
Yeah, probably maybe you've gone to a consultation for a GP or a specialist. He has asked you, what's your profession? Maybe he's interested to see which are most of parts of do you use most. Maybe you're sitting so much. Maybe you use certain parts so much. Yeah, but that's not the only thing. But sometimes you have infection. You have an infection, which causes also inflammation, the swelling and the pain. So that's another form of arthritis as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people.
Yeah.
Some people, maybe it's due to other diseases, underlying diseases. They say in the medical terms, autoimmune diseases, which makes your body fight itself. So it usually affects the linings of the joints. So you end up having this inflammation, which is swelling, and then pain, and then you see some redness, and then maybe reduced movement of that part of the body.
Now let's move on quickly to the signs and symptoms, because you've spoken quite a lot about the causes.
Yes.
Now, how do I know that I need to go to the hospital because this might be arthritis?
Yes. So I would say each time we're feeling painful joints, maybe you've seen some reduced movements. Yeah. So on the causes as well, trauma. Sometimes people have got trauma on the joints, so that can also bring in this thing. So every time we're having painful joints, maybe they are swollen, you're seeing some redness, that's an alert that maybe something wrong could be going on the joints. So you need to see a doctor so that he can assess you and see what actually is wrong, the condition.
I mean, you spoke about age and the misconception of people thinking that only older people get arthritis. Maybe explain to us, is there a specific age group that we should start looking into getting a diagnosis, or can kids get it, or is it from a teenage age, or exactly what age group can get it?
Yeah. I think we are all at risk of developing this disease.
Okay.
Only that some risks are uncontrollable, or others are not. You can not control them. Yeah, we're talking about age. As we're growing old, yeah, some things happen in our bodies as well. Yeah, so you have usually, that's why the majority of them are maybe above 40 who has got this condition, as well as women as well. You find that women are more affected than men. It's issues to do with the hormone issues.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when we're advising women to breastfeed, it also, there's enough evidence supporting that breastfeeding as well on its own also prevents some of these bone conditions like arthritis, osteoarthritis, things which affect our bones, because there's something like movement of some salts and minerals in our body, also related to hormones. So you find that women who are post-menopause, over 45, they usually have this condition. It's not all of them, but some will develop this condition. Yeah, genetics as well plays a factor, which means if you've got a relation, a direct blood relation, maybe your father, maybe your brother, cousin, who has had that, you may be at risk, because genes as well plays a factor. But some factors are these factors are uncontrollable. We're talking about age, being female. Yeah, genetics, those are not uncontrollable. But then the other factors, you can control them. Things like injury or damage to our bones, that one you can control. Although sometimes it can just be an accident, as you say. Or repetitive certain movements. I talked about operation. Your doctor may ask you, what do you do usually when you're complaining of some of this pain? Maybe overuse, maybe something like that. Not that that's direct, but sometimes it can be that. Sometimes infections, which we can control as well. The other important thing is being overweight. Yes, you find that those people who are overweight, we're talking about those who have got a BMI between 25 and 30. Those ones have got 4 times more risk of developing this.
What's the normal BMI?
A normal BMI has to be between 18 and 25. Yeah, getting it? 18.5 to 24.9. So between this, that's the normal range of BMI. Yeah, you go to a doctor, you find that they're measuring your height, they're measuring your weight, and then they seeing how much extra weight you have. So that's why we're saying those who have got extra weight, those who are overweight, they've got 4 times more. Then there's this other group who are obese, whose BMI is more than 30. Yeah, these ones have got even more, 8 times more risk of developing arthritis.
Wow.
So these are areas which we can control, we can work out to prevent not to have arthritis.
That's right. It's very informative indeed. When we come back, we're going to talk more about arthritis, especially the different types, and also what kind of food should you eat when you have arthritis. We'll be back after this.
Life is an up and down journey where anything can happen at any time. But at any time, you have peace of mind with Mazim. Mazim offers all-inclusive affordable medical aid cover in various packages of schemes in line with your budget, with a promise to take care of you and your family in that time of dire need. From giving you access to medical services at hospitals locally and abroad, emergency evacuation, dentist, and optical care, all the way to funeral benefits. Mazim is there holding your hand, keeping you covered. For details of the medical scheme you need, call 01-820-298, 01-820-543, 0888-707-100, fax 01-820-217, email infodesk@mazim.mw, or visit www.mazim.mw. Mazim, your ultimate healthcare solution.
Welcome back. I am with Arthur Bunyani, a clinical nutritionist and dietitian. We're here talking about arthritis. So if you're just joining us, remember you are watching and listening to Times. Now, we've been talking a lot about what arthritis is, the different signs and symptoms. Let's quickly talk about the types, because you made mention when we were talking during the break that there are different types of arthritis. Maybe explain that to us.
Yeah, there are different types of arthritis. In fact, in literature, over 1,000 types of arthritis are there. There are lots of types of arthritis. It depends on the causes. But the most common ones, which we see in the hospitals, usually is what we call osteoarthritis. Yeah, the same thing in this one. As I said, at the end of the bone, there is a soft thing. When you bought meat, there's this other thing you like chewing. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's the cartilage. Yeah, so yes. There's breakdown of this part called cartilage, and then the bones came like rubbing together, which causes the pain and then the swelling. So that's the first type. Okay, yeah. As I said, there's so many types. At least usually, as I said, this one usually associated with occupational thing. Occupational thing. The second one, which is also common, is what we call rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, this kind of arthritis usually the body attacks itself. What we call in the hospital autoimmune diseases. Yeah, sometimes your immunity is too much, so that it fights itself usually, and then it targets this lining of the bones. Causing the bones to causing the cartilage to swell. Yeah, and then the lining making the bones to start rubbing on each other, and then you have the pain. Usually it's due to autoimmune disease. So that when you go to the doctor, they do proper test, and then they diagnose you, and they know the actual cause of the disease. But the most important one, the other type of arthritis, is what we call gout. Gout is also another form of arthritis.
Oh, it's a form of arthritis.
Yes.
Because I always thought it was a disease on its own.
Yeah, but it's a form of arthritis, which I think we can talk about in another program in more detail, because it has got its own specifics as well in terms of nutritional management. So if I talk about the types of arthritis, commonly I'll talk about the osteoarthritis, the rheumatoid arthritis, which are common, and then we've got this gout. But there's so many. As I said, some are due to hormones.
Right.
I've seen several, I think, clients as well who came, and then you were sure that this is mainly due to hormonal thing. Yeah, so it means when the hormonal problem is sorted, the arthritis will go. As I said, the movement of some sorts, like calcium, there's an involvement of some hormones as well. So that's why I was relating this too. Yeah, that's why this other I mentioned as well, that breastfeeding on its own as well, it also prevents you having bone problems in later years if you're breastfeeding your baby as one of these. So in
a nutshell, there's different types of arthritis.
There are so many different of types of arthritis.
That you've shared with us. Is there a cure?
Yes, there is management of it. I would say mostly there's a medical management, and then most of us in the hospital, we don't think of it because nutrition also plays a factor.
Right.
Yeah, usually when you meet these patients, they would mention all kinds of painkillers they have been given by different doctors. So in terms of management, you find that your doctor maybe would recommend certain kind of exercise. Yeah.
But I mean, maybe before we get to exercise, before we get to that point, can someone prevent having arthritis?
Yes, as I said, there are other risk factors which are controllable.
Okay, but there's no cure.
You can get.
Can you get it and be completely healed?
Yes, let's say you had a trauma and then you get healed of it. Yeah. As I said, you can get cured of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you treat arthritis?
Yeah. In terms of management, as I said, maybe the physician, the general practitioner, or the doctor, or the specialist seeing you, maybe would recommend sometimes, as I said, exercise as part of management of, or some physiotherapy. Maybe you'll be sent to a physiotherapist to be advised what kind of exercise would help to ease. And maybe you have got stiffened joint. Yeah, so the physiotherapists are trained and they know what kind of exercise would help you that sorted. Sometimes doctors prescribe medications, which is a common management in our care. Usually they're given medications. Yeah, so there are different kinds of medications which are given. Sometimes they're given painkillers, and painkillers are in different groups. We've got what we call NSAIDs. These are kind of painkillers which help to reduce inflammation. As I said, mainly in this condition, there is swelling, there is inflammation. Yeah, and the other times, sometimes doctors prescribe medications like corticosteroids, which helps to reduce inflammation as well. Yeah, so
steroids, you said.
Yeah, to reduce inflammation in the joints. Yeah, so in terms of exercise and physiotherapy, and then medication, usually it's been that is. But then, as I said, weight loss is part of management as well, because usually sometimes you can have someone who is obese and then he's having this condition, which means if he will lose some weight, then it will be able to have this condition gone. I said that's an area, as you said, can we control this one? Yeah, so if you have your weight reduced because you've got extra weight, which is putting much pressure on your bones, and then you're having those common problems, then once your weight BMI goes down, within the normal range, there's evidence shows that this condition as well you can get. So in terms of weight management, we usually advise to use diet, and then exercise. Don't use medications, because some people, I know nowadays people would go on the market or on the internet, buy whatever just to lose the weight, because science shows that when we're using this medication to lose weight, the moment you stop, you want to use this medication for life. You have a point when you stop. So once you stop, science evidence shows that you gain double the weight you had before.
No,
that's it.
When you say medication to lose weight, do you mean slimming pills?
Usually those ones. Okay. Those ones. Yeah.
What about the tea? Because I've heard some people say, I'm drinking tea and it helps you lose weight.
Those are the things which you have to think about, especially some of these products from other countries. They are dangerous because they also add some hormones. We may talk of hormones like thyroxine. Some of these hormones are dangerous. You end up losing your weight. At the end of the day, your weight, the weight has gone down, but you end up having other conditions like hypertension, other heart conditions. So the best way to lose weight in the hospital, the way we advise as people in the field of clinical nutrition, is for them to go through physical activity, which is exercise, one of it, and then reducing their calorie intake.
Now, in healthy living, in this program, we always have a physical segment where we see different people working out. And being that you're a clinical nutritionist, maybe just give people an explanation of the diet plan exactly. What kind of food should you eat? Because sometimes people want to lose weight, and you've mentioned that you need to reduce your calories, but that's not always easy. As compared to maybe being told that this is what you should eat. Yeah,
you're right. I think the problem is people look at losing weight as maybe the way they're being treated by like malaria or other cough. But it's a different thing. When you're talking about weight loss, it's a lifestyle change. And it doesn't have to happen in a day. These are the fat diets we're seeing on the internet or whatever, and those are not recommendable. We advise, if you meet a professional in clinical nutrition, a professional nutritionist, he will advise you. He will advise you, and they probably make a proper meal plan for you. Unfortunately, what I've observed is most Malawians, we don't like more details in terms of you spend your time maybe calculating calories, whatever. You find that the person will just follow that for a week or 2 weeks, that he throws that away. You're getting. So maybe when we're going to that counseling, maybe we focus much on sharing principles for them, how to lose weight. But you must understand, it's a lifestyle change. There's a mental factor which has to be involved in that one. You have to be determined. And it's not about having that small body. It's about science evidence show that it's about maintaining your BMI at a certain level. So because I would say physiologically, the way our bodies are made. Not all of us can go down to that small weight. Some people, because science shows that even if you maintain your weight at that level, your BMI at that level for a certain period of time, that is also associated with reduction of or risk of other diseases like hypertension, diabetes. So the principle is for you to maintain your weight. If possible, to lose some weight. So if you meet a professional, probably he will advise you and then probably devise a meal. And it's individualized. It's not like one size fits into that. No. You look at the person, his situation, his working environment, and then you know which areas to focus on so that he achieves what he wants or she wants.
Before we go, we wanted the clinical nutritionist to tell us exactly what kind of food should you eat when you're dieting.
Yes. As I said, diet is part of management of arthritis. It's not only the medications. Okay. So there's certain kind of food which also helps to reduce this inflammation in our joints. And these foods are locally available. They don't have to be expensive so that we have to buy. Foods like fish. Fish has good oils. Omega-3. You don't have to buy omega-6. You don't have to buy this kind of. They are readily available in our fish. So in terms of management of arthritis, someone who have got arthritis, we advise them to also consider including fish in their diet, maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. Nuts and seeds. Very important when you've got arthritis. You must eat nuts and seeds. We're talking of groundnuts, macadamia nuts, of course, groundnuts. Okay, macadamia nuts, walnuts. These ones will help. Seeds, seeds like sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds. The very simple pumpkin seeds we have in our villages. Maybe we don't prepare them, we don't consider how we can, but in the villages I've seen, even when they prepare the vegetables, they can pound the pumpkin seeds and use them as the way we use groundnuts powder in the vegetables. In some countries they even fry them and then pack them. People buy. So there's several forms which we can use to use these seeds which are available. We don't just have to throw. We're in the season of pumpkins now. Let's make use of them. Fruits and vegetables. These ones, they have antioxidants. These are agents which helps to reduce inflammation. So if you've got arthritis, you must increase consumption of fruits and vegetables. If you're talking about vegetables, we talk about 7 to 9 portions of vegetables. A portion of a vegetable, if they are uncooked, 1 cup is 1 portion. So in a day we're saying about 7 to 9 portions if you've got this condition of vegetables. Some people don't like vegetables. They say I've eaten lots of vegetables I don't need, but they are important. They also help reduce the inflammation. So all colors of vegetables, green, dark green. If they are yellow vegetable, have we seen any yellow vegetable?
Yellow? I don't think so. Have we?
Don't we? Okay, fine. Any kinds of vegetables, enjoy them. Fruits as usual, enjoy. Fruits are very good. All those colors. You're talking, they have got vitamin C, citrus fruits, guavas. Enjoy them. We've got lots of mandarina coming out from Mwanza. Enjoy those kind of fruits. They are important if you've got this arthritis. They reduce inflammation. People talk about olive oil. It also helps. And then beans. The very same beans we don't like. They are very important in this condition. Because beans, they have good antioxidant properties as well. They reduce the inflammation. So we're talking about all kinds of beans. In our country, we've got lots of beans. We've got kidney beans. We've got the sugar beans. We've got the white beans. All kinds of beans. Enjoy the black beans. They will help to manage your condition. And then in the terms of management, we're talking about 2 portions, minimum in a week. That will help us. That will help us control this condition called arthritis through diet. But then above all, as I said, it has to be individualized, which means if you meet a dietitian, if you meet a clinical nutritionist, he'll be able to devise a nutrition plan for you, individualized, so that you must you must follow it. And we must follow it, because I know most of us, we don't like much information, especially when they have to guide you how to eat.
Exactly.
People don't, they all feel like they have to eat. But when you have got, because these kind of foods which I've mentioned, there are lots of them. These are just some of them, which can help you in addition to your medical management, in addition to exercise and physiotherapy. These ones will also help modulate or reduce the symptoms in your condition.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us today. Very insightful interview there. Arthur Bunyani, a clinical nutritionist and dietitian, who explained to us in detail what arthritis is, but also, very important, what kind of diet should you do or should you be on when you have arthritis. But also, physical working out is actually very important. So if you're having any of those symptoms, I'd suggest you meet you go to your nearest hospital and get a clinical nutritionist to give you a proper diet plan. Until next week, I am Tabby Kumangala. This was Healthy Living, and remember, this program is sponsored by MASM.
Life is an up and down journey where anything can happen at any time. But at any time, you have peace of mind with MASM. MASM offers all-inclusive affordable medical aid cover in various packages of schemes in line with your budget, with a promise to take care of you and your family in that time of dire need. From giving you access to medical services at hospitals locally and abroad, emergency evacuation, dentist and optical care, all the way to funeral benefits, MASM is there holding your hand, keeping you covered. For details of the medical scheme you need, call 01-820-298, 01-820-543, 0888-707-100. Fax 01-820-217. Email infodesk@masm.mw or visit www.masm.mw. MASM, your ultimate healthcare solution.
The return of Senso, Disima Dance Sikawawa, alongside my brother.